What a transition. Hello, everyone. Let's see. How's it going? First time doing live streams, so I think we're going to have a lot of learning moments today, and it's going to be good. So let's get some things straightened out. Um, This sounds a little loud on my side. Cool. Well, welcome everyone. Glad to see a handful of people hanging out in here. Basically, we're going to be hosting a weekly live event that's going to happen each week now. My name is David Morgan. I work a part of the Arkio team as the content and community lead. I've also been using Arkio for a while. What's up, Greg? Good to see you, man. I know you've been using Arkio too. And the purpose of these little open studios is really just to bring more people in and engage with you. If in typical design world, whenever we've had any sort of open space for us to collaborate around and just see how other people build and make, it only makes us better. And it's going to make our tool better too to see how this works. So this is going to be an ongoing series. So definitely welcome and feel free to swing in and out. If you have a headset, definitely welcome you to jump into Arkio. And it's going to be pretty informal with what we're doing. We're going to kind of take some cues from the team, see how it goes. Can you make Updog in VR? What's up? Oh man, got family in here already. Matt, you can. What's up, dog? All right, cool. So let's see. I'm going to give a couple more minutes. So we have a rough schedule in the YouTube channel there that you can see. We're going to spend the first few minutes just kind of chatting and stuff. And then I'll have Arkio open on my headset for about an hour and a half for us to play around with and see some stuff. So for now, we're just going to kind of keep today loose, see what's going to happen well, what's not going to happen well, and we'll keep going. So, all right, let me pull up a meeting. And also, if you have questions, comments, right, like this is very new to me of how to interact with these streams. And because I'm going to be jumping in and out of the VR headset, it's going to be really helpful if, I'm basically just need to get a sense of how to connect with you guys while you're commenting, and I might be in a headset disconnected. So not the typical live stream, but I think there will be some good values out of this. So please feel free to write whatever you feel, or write what you think could be improved, or have any suggestions for what we should be making. Going to be kind of just going with it. So let me set this up here. Not using David question mark. We're using David, and then I guess we'll be a more official. We'll do David Arkio Heyo, and then the password was Stu, and Stu for meeting name and password. So let's see. All right, only one here. That's good news. I like it. Okay. Oh, there's my guy freaking out over there. I like it. Okay, so getting myself organized. Let's see. Get this all back up and running. Carlos, hey buddy. You guys have any thoughts? Have you guys been, let's see, who's used Arkio in this chat? Like, we got any active Arkio users that have any questions for us while we watch my avatar freak out for a bit? Gonna do the quick edits too. Can I edit it from here? Oh, look at that. Oh, I'll fix it a little bit more in here. Look at that. Look at that guy. Actually, I might pull up a previous scene that I was just messing with. See, yeah, that's small. Okay, mainly what I'm trying to do, because some of the tricks here is that, right, one thing I'll show in a second is that we're going to be looking not only from the desktop view, but we're also going to be looking at, we have the camera view over here, we have the VR view that's going to go live in a second from my perspective, and then we'll also have the desktop view. So that's kind of like the challenging part in VR, is like, how do you capture the perspective, right? Look at this guy just dancing over here. Got such good moves. Okay, let's see. All right, welcome more people. Let's see how it goes. Wow, I'm loving these moves. All right, let's switch. We got 5 minutes, so we'll switch over before that. Let's see. Let's see. Everyone have a good holiday. Doing any good places? Let's see. We're scooting around for a bit, so it's finally great to be back and on the East Coast, resting for a little bit. So, I think for today, like we've been getting a bunch of questions from like users around import workflows and stuff like that. That does seem pretty exciting to kind of talk on because it just touches on so many things. But I feel like that's going to be really that's going to put a lot of challenge in what we're trying to just get done for our first live stream. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be I kind of want to focus a little bit more around the creating stuff. We have some really, we have some talented creators in the community, and I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of what attracts a lot of the first few users. So let's see. I don't know. I don't even remember what I was working here. I think I was just playing around with stuff for here, but I do like that it's already kind of set up. So we'll do that, and then I don't know. Maybe we'll delete these sides here. See what I was doing. A lot of the times, like what I've been finding with I've been an active Arkio user for I don't know. Well, let's say active for at least 3 or 4 years. I've been a part of the community for 5 or 6, and yeah, there's with any modeling tool, you have to learn how to remodel with it. How do you actually get things to align? How do you organize stuff? And with any other modeling tool, this is there's been a lot of practice, especially with not having the keyboard and mouse. But yeah, I think what I've been really liking is just there's so much challenge behind trying to develop this design, develop a great understanding of how VR modeling works for architects and designers all alike. So I don't know, I think doing some sort of creative, tooling and just showing how some of the creative process happens in here is going to be just helpful. So we'll get it going. Let's see, got 2 minutes. Looks like no one went anywhere fun. They probably went somewhere fun. I don't know. Cool. All right, let's get going. Let's jump in here. I don't really know this transitional piece, so I'm gonna go to no camera. To camera. Hey-oh, look at that. Have different layouts and everything. Fancy. All right. So I can't really see, I won't be able to see the comments, just letting people know for a bit. So I will check on them periodically, as you'll see, but let's get a little good view. Let's get a good spot in the camera for now. So I don't know. Great if this could be controlled from the live stream, but that works in my mind. Is anyone there? Nope. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Screw it. Bum, 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 bum. The camera. Bang. All right, so where was I with this? I don't really remember. Let's see. So I think we have have some openings here. So I think we're gonna have, we're gonna have a pretty cool entrance space here. I don't even know what this is. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Claudia? Let's see. Oh, geez, hold on. I might need to set this. Okay, wait a second. Give me 1 second. Let's see, meetings. Oh no. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna turn you into an editor, Claudia. All right, I have that. Oh no. Oh wait. Okay, hold on. Boom, boom. Oh no, I zoomed away. See, I think I need to tell my device to echo my audio. No. Let's see, I might need a cast again. Let's try that one more time. Right eye, bang, done. Oh. Hello, Claudia. Let's see. Claudia, do you hear me now? Hello. You can't hear me? I can't hear you. Try. No. Oh no. We speak in sign language now. Okay. Woo. All right. Let's see. Did you just put the? It might be good to like. I don't know why your microphone's not working. Sometimes I've just reset the headset, like, and it does that. Does it's the good old reset and either reset the meeting or jump back in. But we'll see. You might have to update if you haven't updated your device or anything. Cool, awesome. See you soon. Let's see. I guess the camera's there. Chat. If there's any audio questions or not, I'll pop my head off in a second and just look. But if you could just let me know if things sound good, if things sound bad, which I guess this is probably better to look at. Hello. If things could be improved, just let me know. I'll try to keep updating things. And I won't tell you to like and subscribe. Maybe I will. I don't know. I do feel like this is kind of giving me a little bit of like, I think I remember trying to do a very like Blade Runner-esque vibe when I was thinking about this. Like I wanted that, I don't know, kind of that slanted building feel, but it was just, one atrium. So I don't know, maybe it needs to be, I think it can be a little bit simpler for now. It's not going to be as massive and dramatic. And so one thing I find a lot with people that like use Arkio at first, and I did it too, is like you want everything to work the exact way that it works already in like Revit and stuff. Let's see. Any better? We got it? No. Oh no. Oh no. We've been seeing this issue before too, and I think it's hard to tell. Do you see if it has do you see if you have like any microphone access on your meetings panel? Because it looks like your microphones, like your mouth should move if your microphone's getting picked up by your avatar. Yeah? No say? Okay. Oh, Johan's here. Let's see if it's just me. Johan. Oh. He muted himself. He's got a big subway thing going on. All right, let's see. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I can hear you. Claudia, can you hear him? Yeah, perfect. But we can't hear Claudia, so that's our sad point right now. Ooh, and he left. I don't know, Claudia, we had this in the design review a couple times happen, right? Oh, so I'm wondering if it's like, I can never tell if like how to like get it to troubleshoot, like how to reproduce the problem. What do you think, Johan? Yeah. Well, so do you hear? I guess Claudia wasn't able to speak before, so I guess do we hear Yosef Ultimate? Can you guys hear Johan's voice from inside the app? Look at that, we got so many Arkio people here. Yeah. No, they can't. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me look into this. And Claudia's writing code to us. I don't know. I guess we'll have to. Have you managed to see the chat while you're in VR? Nope, I have not. That's something I tried looking into that, but it's all for it to be on Oculus. It's a little challenging. So I think for now, while I figure out this VR issue, let's flip back over to the casting flat so you don't have to see my head. Okay, I think what I can do is push my audio, my application audio. So let me just try doing that really quick. Bum, bum. Let's see. All right. Johan, do you want to give a little shout real quick? Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh well, the audio's coming through. Oh wait. No, it's not. It's one of these weird things where it's like I have my audio composed in OBS, but I can't seem to I can't have more than one audio input from what's it, from StreamYard. So we'll have to figure that one out. All right, people. I think that's kind of sad. Let's see. I wonder. Okay, one last. I guess what we can do is, oh, I wonder. I think what I can. Okay, wait. There might be a hack. I think I can add. Oh wait, we can't add extra cameras. Wamp womp. Okay. Oh, you can hear them in a very low volume. Yeah. Well, you know what I think it is? I think it's literally I think it's my microphone picking up on my headset. Yeah. Well, that's kind of a bummer. All right. Well, what I'll do next time maybe is just instead of using StreamYard, just push right from OBS to YouTube. That way, there's not multiple audio sources, but. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This beauty. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I thought it'd be good to talk about like the array tool and the edit tool. All right, I'm gonna send you the link. Okay. All right, where are you at? Yeah. No, that's good. Like, yeah, I think this is kind of the first pieces that. Oh, what did Claudia write? Let's see. I am going to try again. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I do like when it first. Some of the first things I always end up like kind of teaching with the modeling stuff, right? Like when you create your boxes, like there's multiple types, right? Like if we pull this up here, you'll be able to see that there's these different shaded pieces, there's different forms. And the one that I always have students start with is solid box. And just to get the edit functionality down. So like with any geometry tool, you're able to push, pull, do things very naturally in here. And whenever you like by using the edit tool here, you can see that when I highlight over it, I'm like pushing and pulling, like Johan says, the frames all become highlighted. And then I can also like put my hand inside of this, and then you see the whole wireframe turns blue, and then I can like pick it up and move it. So that's kind of like one of the distinct features in Arkio is that when you have a command selected, like edit, delete, or whatever, and then your hand goes inside, it's automatically kind of becoming the move command. So it's kind of a different way of like approaching this type of work. You can be editing and then want to move it over here. So that's kind of one of a feature there. So with the edit tool in general, right? Like we're moving things very orthogonally and just kind of changing that piece here. And let's say, right, with the creation tool, if we bring up the creation, I'm going to try to make sure I select like this. So if we bring up the creation tool here and we're just using a box, if I pull through that box, if I was going to add another one on top, I can. If I want to push into it, I can. It's kind of just that way of it being a void, like, Boolean based operation. So in here, we're just still doing the same editing functions. You can see I'm selecting faces. If I push it all the way, it'll subtract that face. You can hit undo with this by using your joystick and just going whoop, to the left and redo to push to the right. Again, right, we're doing a bunch of things tackling it. And then the tricky thing, well, not tricky, but a kind of an advanced tip is that you can actually move away from orthogonal by selecting our subcommand in the bracelet to use freeform. And that's basically like having, the ability to not have everything move planar. So in here, this is a really helpful tip that that helps create really simple like suggestions of form in here. So I think what's nice is that I'm able to kind of just showcase, I'm able to kind of just push in and start to see how the geometry works. And one of the things that's helpful in these type of cases is that I can see my mind wanting to be like, why isn't this straight? Why isn't this here? Where's this going? But realistically, what I'm just trying to get across is suggesting a basic form. And when I'm in the design process at this time, I'm really not thinking too much about like precision and alignment. I'm more or less trying to create suggestion of shape. So that's why when I'm going through these pieces here, it's kind of hard because in the back of my mind is going through the digital modeling stuff. I always want to make everything straight and perfected, but this is kind of where it's like a new mindset for us designers to pick up, is that we're no longer just kind of using the computer to create high precision pieces. We're using it to sketch in that same manner and what we can achieve with that. So how you doing, Johan? I'll look at that.
Yes. In the meantime, I joined in with my audio on the StreamYard, so these people should be able to hear me there.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm getting some reverb, so hold on.
Yes.
Let me just check. It might be because I have the audio coming in on my headset as well. Let's see. Oh,
Alexandra seems to have thumbs up, so.
Alex, that's good for you.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right, well, here we go. Oh, yeah, okay, so you can live stream into that. Okay, so then I can mute your audio. All right, cool. So basically, oh, you know what?
You still have to solve it for Claudia, though.
Yeah. All right, I'll do a quick thing to bring her into here. So, but I'll make the desktop camera look at what you're talking about. All right, guys, we got some people today.
So you're still hearing me now, right, David?
Yep.
Okay, check it then. Can use this.
It's over there dancing.
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 So one thing we could chat about a bit, while the camera is still seeing me, like what David said, it's very true. Like the way you're modeling in Arkio is a bit different from modeling with typical line-based drawers, because you're working with volumetric objects in Arkio. So when you're making a box and you're carving into a box, you're working with the volumes itself, and this is a slightly different approach from where typical floor planning, you start drawing a line and then another line, and then you kind of have a plane and then you extrude it. Like, you're working here with base primitive shapes that, when you edit them, snap together. So like that, those two boxes that I basically put together, they're now like sharing a top surface. And when I'm editing that up or down, or distorting it even, it will move the other object as well, so the box. And this approach of modeling is chosen for a reason, because we are able to now work with this model almost like a physical, interactable model. It's an important thing to understand about Arkio's modeling system.
Yeah, I think that's always one that I'm trying to discover, like the more I can. Like, ooh, we got some bit right here. Let's see. I think I opened too many things on my computer. Doop. Let's see, let's close that. And then, yeah, I see my computer's loving this right now.
Yes,
So
I can
I,
imagine.
hopefully it's not too much of a pain for people. Yeah, no, one thing I was like discovering the other day was like when do you use like when do you, if you, let's say I wanted to take this edge here and make it go all the way down like this, like, you know, just making a simple slope. One thing I noticed that like was kind of strange was that issue that, or not the issue, but the functionality that you showed there, where
Mhm.
when if I do this, it now slopes down the whole entire bit. Where maybe I wanted to actually just still do, you know, still just make this as the slope unit. That's one thing I was like, oh, so how do I make sure that this geometry acts individually? And you know, you kind of have to like edit it beforehand, but yeah.
You're thinking about it as a polygon, I assume then, or like you wanted to edit it in a different way than the
Yeah.
primitive.
Yeah, I think in a way it's yeah, it's kind of the in between of like the poly. It's almost like you want to say like snap this form and
Mhm.
have this stay straight, you know.
So the best way to think about these planes is like when you're making an edit like this, and especially when you're going to distort stuff, like it tries to keep these. Well, it keeps all the remaining objects that you have still perfect plane geometry. So you're not like a typical like, polygon modeler. Like if you would put this vertex inside, it will basically start introducing a new line, and it's like keeping that geometry in the same place. Like when you're moving this point, you're actually moving the entire plane, and we just pick the opposite point from that point to keep that at least in the same place, because we're keeping all the geometry to be planar, and that's also because the modeling engine itself allows that smartness, like that interactivity when you're snapping these surfaces together, and those surfaces are all planar as well. So
Yeah.
that system of modeling, it works a bit different from typical polygon modeler or Rhino or like other surface modelers, because you're working with volumetric planar objects that you're editing.
Yeah. Man, that does feel like one of the bigger learning curves here. It's like, because I think I always have to kind of figure out what I need to plan prior, you know, with like approaching these things. And I do like, I mean, you have to do that in any modeling program. So I think this is where it's been, you know, it's kind of that, it's like going through all the tutorials to figure out like what's the
Yeah,
best workflow, you know. So it's, I think
I'm
that's
moving this
been,
down a bit in the meantime because the camera that is still on us can then see a bit better what we're doing.
well,
See
you know,
in
it's,
that mixed reality. Oh, mixed reality is such a great
well,
thing.
the camera lens is actually like the center of the camera is like here or something. It's in the
Mhm.
handle, so it's. I think it's I don't know. It's hard to tell because it's like you can't tell if it's what scale it's at, you know.
Yeah,
But
we can put a little sample thing there. That's often what I do. I just
yeah.
put like this is where the actual camera is.
Oh, nice. I
Camera right
like it.
here, and just some tools, like just sharing tools on the fly here.
Mhm.
Like this could be an actual little camera. I will just show it to the guys to you guys later. Okay, so we have a little lens,
Mhm.
and this camera, like actually, I'll just show you the guys in front of it as well. So this like a little camera block. I just put it in the position of the camera, and now we have something that we can communicate with. Now we do have plans to make that like the cameras itself also part of the like the Arkio sharing system and some other
Yeah.
things to make like more aware of like where people are watching you and how you're collaborating together with multiple devices
Yeah.
and cameras.
No, for sure. I do. I honestly like. I think this is going to be something where like the more that we do with the community, the more they're going to want to see the ways that we share things like this. Because I think that's just kind of great. Another little tip that I discovered, I don't know if I feel like you probably know this already, but I've realized that you can use groups to delete a full batch of things. So after our Christmas party model, I was able to, where's that? I was able to delete all these little pieces by just using the group method. So it's like, oh, that's nice. So yeah, let's see. Ooh, a little jumpy.
It's like a quick way to delete. The quickest way is everything in the like the Arkio ecosystem is glued and connecting automatically. So you could use that in your advantage as well. When you put objects on top of other objects, they glue together. And well, let's just throw this thing away and just put a smaller tree here. So like you can group, like especially if you have multiple things that are not connected, but just picking up the base shape and throwing that away will achieve the same result.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but there's always that moment where you like might have just deleted this, like the top surface, and you're like, no. But yeah.
Well, luckily you can always undo with your left joystick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it'll be good to kind of keep testing out how these like open studios go, because I think it'll be interesting to like keep putting these things at test, like undoing and redoing.
Maybe a good thing to mention this, like these are meant to be workshops where you can join in yourself with your headset, and because this is the first time we're actually doing one. But like we're expecting this to grow over time with the community of the people that are joining in now with YouTube Live, and like you can be part of this yourself, and we even invite people to do this with their PC or other device if they want to see our avatars and things move around. But like the most fun way of doing these events is if we can have a conversation with people and we can answer their questions.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why these are, there's a light schedule to these. Like I know what I've seen in live streams is like people just kind of like to tune in, but with these here, like this is just supposed to be time for people to gain more experience with Arkio. And yeah, like you can definitely join in live. I think for like as we kind of like work out the bugs and like the some of the kinks with setting up these streams, it'll be good just to like be showcasing this. But yeah, I'm really hoping that like a lot of people tend to learn a lot more about our app when we do these modeling work sessions in person or in in VR. So or in spatial computing, whatever the
the new hip thing.
Yeah, let's see. Oop. There, I made some stairs for you.
Is Claudia still coming back, or is she?
She messaged me on Discord. I think she just said I couldn't tell if she joined StreamYard. I just haven't wanted to take the headset off again. But let me double check and see.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, I can chat about some of the things you're doing here.
Yeah.
So the shaping of like objects, like when you pick them up, they glue to the other object and they glue again to the other object. So in a way, you can source your way all the way down to where all the objects can be picked up. And if you use that trick in your advantage, you can pick up a lot of things at the same time. But it's also good to understand this system, because whenever you're putting things together, there might be at some point a circle or like let's say almost like a chain of hierarchy that you're about to make. So in this case, let me just check if I see this correctly on the PC. Yes. So I may take a little a couple of boxes that I stacked upon each other, and if I pick up this object, it all gluing together. It's like one object that I can just move around like this. But if I continue this by adding even more stuff, like on the bottom, and then I put like another one connecting it to the ground. So what I did here is I made it a bit hard for this system to work well. Like when I made that final box, and if I just glue it to here, I can still pick it up. It still knows where the ground is. But if I put a box on like another box that basically is already connected all the way to here, Arkio can have a hard time to correctly move that box, because that particular box is grounded on both the actual grounded plane that this box is on, as well as this chain that we have over here to that set.
Yeah. No, that was honestly. So, what do you recommend people to do? Like, do you recommend them to follow what I've done here, where it's like you create a platform and build on top, or?
That's definitely what like a very good trick to just when you're working on things, create platforms. Platforms are also a great way to make backups of things that you're working on, because all this stuff that is easily to be selected because you pick the main object. You can also use that in the bigger picture. I can select this entire platform. This will not be very clear for everyone, but if you zoom out a bit, you can see it. I can just pick up the entire platform with everything on it and just make a copy of it. So in case you're doing optioneering and you're just still figuring out how to like, do certain things best and find out Arkio's modeling system, just put it on a platform, and then you can copy that platform with the using the trigger and the buttons on the top of the controller, the menu buttons. It will duplicate everything that was selected on top of that platform as well.
So what do you think happened with the? All right, let me try. I'll try to reproduce this too. Oh, and that's where, So if in theory, I should have been able to delete this, and that deletes everything, right? Or is it just because that's
if you grab it? If you grab the geometry, it will move everything, including the stuff attached. It will remove it. If you use the delete tool, it does individual deletion of objects.
Okay.
And when you're doing that to a complicated hierarchy, and you can see that a bit here. If I delete this cell where the tree is on, this is pretty funky. The tree and the other geometry still moves. So in Arkio's system, I deleted that object, but it was originally contained on that row, so it still kind of has connection there.
So it's kind of like this wireframe here, right?
Yeah, it's not really there anymore, but the relationship is still there. So I need to reapply the relationship by putting the object to another surface, and then now it's correctly like hosted again. In a way.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think that's
something deep dives.
Yeah, it is a deep dive. What do you feel like? So okay, let's take this for instance. So I'm actually simplify this down a bit more. And then get rid of this stupid boolean. You know what? Let's even just get rid of the house, and we'll just go with this structure, right? So one thing I just noticed is that when we sorry, Claudia, delete that. Wow, she even wrote cursive. Like when we copy this here, I noticed it only brought one over, right? So I'm curious, what do you feel like is like this is something I tend to hit a lot, where I'm just trying to make like symmetry among like this piece, and I noticed that even when I've copied this over, it didn't come with that. So I'm just curious, what do you feel like is happening here, and what would you suggest?
So if something didn't copy over, it means it was not correctly hosted down on the original like geometry. So in this case of the platform, like this object might be missing, or there might be some furniture that is missing. Like the only way to fix that issue is to find the troublesome geometry and just apply it to the surface.
Okay.
And then you can it's always really easy to just touch your geometry and you see it highlight all the objects that are connected, and that gives a good indication also of what you're about to move. And the same applies for Arkio geometry when you're editing. So when you're having boxes, for example, and some of these boxes have a shared feature, like a sharing of the plane. Like when you're using the edit tool, you can see it also over here. If you highlight that face with the edit tool, all of the faces highlight that are about to move. So like both like the move tool and the edit tool, they fully highlight what you're about to move, and that's a good like reminder of yourself also, like if something is correctly linked or not, or if it maybe needs to like you need reconnect the geometry to make it work well.
Yeah, that makes sense. So okay. For here, I guess let's taking this as a use case. Like I find that I have I have this whole piece that you can tell I copied over, and then I'm putting it down. But then when I highlight when I highlight the groups, it doesn't include this. So is it just because maybe it's not like if I tried detaching all of the pieces, do you think that now it highlights? So do you think it's just the way it's constructed?
It's actually it's a particular complexity here in 3D modeling. Like I don't know if you ever had in Revit, you have some, and also in Rhino, you can have a circular chain of references. Like it's like a message that you see more often in 3D programs, and we're actually creating that right here by having this geometry being on that surface, this geometry being on that surface, and this one connected to both. So it now tries to find the best path down. And to make that a bit more understandable for the 3D modeling app, it's best to go through these things one by one. So I connected this thing to this thing. So I know it's really connected well to that. And if I put this one down, now when you highlight it, it should be properly connected. Let me just double confirm it. It should be properly connected, but it's not. Let me just do it again. Yeah, now it's corrected. So there was something wrong with that thing, that it didn't recognize how the hierarchy should go. If I connect it back now, it should be fine, and it should be connected well to the main geometry.
Got it. Okay, so here we go. The moment of truth. I feel like this is us trying trying the food after we cooked it. You know, like well, let's just. Ooh, all right. Well, hold on. Let's see. So click pasta, copy, shebang, and it snaps. Yes, there's times too I've found like a lot of students freak out when they start copying something over, and let's see, bring that over, and then they see like in the camera you can probably see that there's some blocks are missing. Like I don't know if yours show it, but as soon as you put that down, those blocks
then it goes back. That's actually a bug. That's something for us to fix. That shouldn't be happening.
Well, a lot of students just end up saying like, "Hey, why is this like I can't put something down? I don't even finish the move." And I'm like, "Oh, well, actually." So, but yeah.
So the cages give a good indication that the geometry is still considered in Arkio system. It's like a visualization problem actually. Like it's not updated correctly, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I think honestly, there's like after I started using Arkio, I didn't realize how much I depend on like what type of inputs you'd get from Revit and Rhino and how you have to like digest what's going on. And I think it's we're at like such a young stage for this app and like people adopting it in that way that I find that it's really interesting explorations to figure out how you can, like what you're saying, like how do you start figuring out if geometry is bad?
So it is, it's interesting. It does help if you have a bit of like understanding of how geometry works in Revit and Rhino, and like we're doing things a bit different, and we're doing things in VR. So it's like a bit of a double thing we're doing. Like makes it a bit harder to understand, and also we're a very young software still. Like we're not like a 30-year-old Revit or anything like that. This is we're still figuring out the things as we go, and the main learning curve might be just understanding the how to think like a physical model, and that just requires a bit of practice and hands-on with the VR version of Arkio before you can also use it well in the non-VR version of Arkio, because that works the same way, that it's like physical objects that can light, that can glue on top of other surfaces, and once they're on top of that other surface, they're connected and they're parametrically smart, and that's really powerful when you understand the logic of our geometry engine. You can really make amazing stuff, and yeah, you've seen some of the students use that very well, I think, also.
Yeah, exactly. It really is kind of like, I think a lot of people like, right, the first thing every student always asks is like, how do I make curves? And I'm like, one of the things that you taught me right away that I felt was just so like such a game changer, and it's been, I think most non-digital people love this the most, is like being able to say, okay, hey, we're gonna make a curve, but you're gonna do it using, like you're gonna use it as if we're doing an archway. So like whenever I show them like, okay, when you start doing an array, you can just copy one thing, and it's the same thing as like the copy command. And then like,
you make a
how you taught me
stone,
here with, yeah, exactly.
make an
We're going back to the archways.
stone, and
Yeah.
this is really like, it's a strength of Arkio also to do these operations, because the physical building blocks that we are familiar with, like from our childhood, like the Legos or the actual playing with blocks, they apply almost the same rules as what we're doing here. But the advantage here is we have like the advantage of digital, so we can make things out of the sky, and we can make things parametrically. And like there's unfortunately no Legos that is parametrically adjustable yet, and like, we can do stuff that is that's really like interestingly intuitive, but still very powerful to adjust.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of my students actually showed that, where he presented like he used a ton of array tools, and like usually there's always one that's like, I love the array, and it's
Yes.
it's usually the spiral of chaos, but I really like when people discover these tools, and I think it's it's kind of some of the stuff that helps influence the form and functionality of our space that we're creating. So yeah, but let's see what else. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm getting a little. I've got a bunch of artifacts streaming in. Like half of my camera, it looks like it's
your PC is like melting, I guess, with all the live streaming and.
Oh man, that actually might be what it. I feel like I'm getting
Yes.
it's this it's like a level of like fundraising, but it's just telling me how hot my computer's getting. So maybe it's just a thermometer.
Yeah. Did we have any maybe questions from the people that are joining us in the
didn't see
chat,
any.
or do we have like did you have any particular team or that we can
No,
follow?
I mean, right now I have no I don't have a model picked up. I just was going through. We have about 45 minutes left to keep modeling stuff. No questions in the chat right now. If there's anyone there, well, for the people there, if you guys have questions around any techniques or tips or things like that, feel free to like let us know, and we'll give it a shot. So, yeah. Let's see. For now though, this camera.
Yes.
Gotta move it. All right.
Well, it still looks good on the stream. It's
yeah, it's still there. It's just we gotta, when we're modeling something,
yes.
gotta get it. Okay, so maybe let's go in here and just start messing around, I guess. One thing I got was the the Knuckles controllers where they had like the strap on the outside. I bought those for my Quest 3 controllers, and it's really nice because you just don't have to like hold on to the controller anymore.
Yeah, you can wave your hands without having to worry about them flying away.
Yeah, exactly. And like I also felt like I'm not like my hands weren't constantly like in action. I could like take a second and
that's what I really like about hand tracking. That we will like when the hand tracking gets like better and basically becomes a status code, and you will not have that problem anymore. You can work anywhere.
Yeah, no. When all the controllers and wires go away, we will be a-okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm attempting. Nope. All right. Okay, here we go. And if I do, I wasn't supposed to happen that way. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it
You
from the
want to make a
start.
beam or like
Yeah.
some studs with
A little
lights on it?
pergola. Yeah,
Yes.
there we go.
So
Yeah.
maybe explaining a bit like the array tool. Currently, it seems to be one of the most hard tools to use in Arkio, and it's a good reason why it's up. Like we're thinking about doing this a bit different, but maybe you can explain a bit the steps one by one, David.
Yeah, let's see. I'll even put it in X-ray mode. Hopefully that's crispy value for people. All right, let's see. So basically when we do the array tool here, let's throw this one out. And you saw that I wanted to make an array across each one of these. Like I want to just act like it's a beam, right? And so what I've done already is I've created the first beam, and how Arkio works is kind of a move an array from type of command, similar to AutoCAD. So basically when I select this object here with my hand, I like to do it by my hand. You can also do it with the move command. But I like to select it in here, and you can kind of see some options turn on the controller. If I was to select it without my hand inside, you'll see it's the same options. But when I have my controller in here, basically I use the trigger here to grab it, and then when you have that holding down, you can see where it says, let's see, where it says hold. That's going to start the array command. And when I have that, when I want to start pushing that, what I end up doing is I click once to make the first copy, and then I set the distance and like angle. So now you can see my hand has positioned where I want how the array should keep working. And then once I have that next copy down, I hold the array button down, and then you move your hand in that motion. So it's the one thing of setting the distance from your original to your next. And then once you've made that copy, holding down the A button or the B button, and moving your arm and the length of how you want it to go. So it kind of gives the arm movement, gives you the distance that you want this to travel in total. Yeah. What do you think?
That's a good one, and like the thing to know that because the move tool is the tool that actually needs to be activated first before you create an array. When you're selecting an object with the move tool, we're not directly moving it. Like it's still staying in place a bit, and you have to yank it a bit to get it out of its original position. Like when I'm doing that on this block here, you can see like it's kind of even I wiggle a bit, it's not directly moving. So that gives us a bit of time to make a copy. Like you can hold it with the trigger, but not move your controller too much. You can directly make a copy of that object, and it will stay. The original object will not even move then. It will just stay where it was. That gives me the time to put the second version of the copy. And if I just want one copy, I just press the button on top of the controller briefly. I just make one click, and it will keep having a new version of that copy in my hand. If I do that again, I just make one copy. I didn't move my controllers too much, so the original one stayed in place. If I then put it where I want it to be, and then hold that button when I made a copy, it's going to make the array. So it's like the third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one. It's just adding the same distance to what I just did there. If I do that with any funky like offset or array, that would also, let me just do that with the hand so it's a bit more clear. When I'm making a copy, I just barely move my hand so the original one stays in place. I'm making a copy and I hold, like it's a bit of a weird angle I'm giving it, but I'm holding that button on my controller, and now it's making a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh copy until I stop the hand movement.
And here is architecture.
Yes, here we have created some nerdy shapes.
Yeah, this is an organic
with a boxy
situation.
modeler. Yes.
Well, but I think that's a really good way of explaining it, and also the tip of like how do you best position, your arrays? Because sometimes I felt like even like with this tool, I would start, or when I started modeling this shape, I was trying to first just do like this shape and form, and then I ended up actually like arraying it once, and then I realized like I wanted to put the hole in there, and I went back and like edited it and brought it through.
Mm.
So it's I think that's where a lot of people tend to like they work in such these scales where it's like like they zoom in and then they zoom in even further to like more than 1 to 1, and they're doing like really fine detail. So I think personally, like my go-to favorite for modeling in Arkio is like 1 to 10 scale, because then you can it makes you move freely, but you still have a very good view of like what's happening at like the basic scale. But I was wondering when it comes to arraying, like how do you best plan for your like for when you're going to array? Because you talked about it being outside and not in between two things, but like I've found that there's sometimes where I would array something and I want it to be like it might it might be on like the top edge here, and then sometimes it like doesn't always sit perfectly if there's if there's a lot of information going on. So like sometimes I've felt that I will go through and like not have this go all the way, like maybe create a cut in here that will
Oh yeah, yeah.
with
So that's a good trick indeed. Like you wanna prevent too many like options of like where it can snap to. If you're ever having difficulty or you're fighting with the geometry, then less is more. And so in this case, like when you're having an object like this connect, well, let's just move it here. When you're having an object like this connected to both bridges, we're making things a bit extra hard for geometry wise because we have this object bounding to the ground, this object, this one, and this one. So we have basically two chains over here. And now we're connecting these two chains with another geometry that is touching both ends. So it can sometimes give a bit of difficulty when you're trying to move things then because it's just the system is confused. It doesn't know what to do first. So like if ever you have difficulty with that, just try to make the geometry a bit more simple. So in this case, not connecting it yet to that face. Now it will only look at this shape because it's connected to there. If I make duplicates to it now, it will only snap to that particular shape. It will not look even at that because it's not touching. If I then make the arrays actually keep all the faces still shared, so you can easily still make it all adjusted to the new width again. Like it's not this is not necessarily a worse thing to do. Like you have more control over when you made it, and then you just stretch it to where it needs to be in the end.
Yeah, no, I like that because I always find that when you create a bridge like this, when you have two things that are united in that way, it's like the biggest moment for the geometry to change its its functionality. And yeah, and I think that's where that's a super good tip to like have out there because I think the array tool is just one of the most popular things.
So another one little nugget of information. I have so many nuggets of information. I'm going to
Yeah,
drop this
I love it.
on these all these. I will bars into your life session,
Yeah,
David,
you'll
and
be
we'll
like,
just
I have
start dropping.
ideas.
So if you have a particular offset that you want, what I often use in Arkio is like temporary geometry, helper geometry that keep me like aligning the things a bit easier. And I think people that use SketchUp and other tools, you're probably familiar with that. Like also sometimes there you need to model something in order to achieve something else. In Arkio, it's the same. Like in this case, if I want to have a particular offset of that shape, maybe 1 meter, I can just use a temporary volume that I draw there of 1 meter. I just use the dimension tool override to give it a 1 meter distance. Then if I make the copy, I can snap to that particular geometry. Oh, let's just do it properly. Snap to that particular guide and when it's snapped there, I just can make the array, and then I know this is a 1 meter offset there.
Interesting.
And
You know, I did that actually somewhat similar, but I actually, do you not attach the geometry to, like, would you not attach the first one to here
I
to get
wouldn't
the right?
attach it, but necessarily because I want to make sure that I don't forget about it, and I just like, keep it separated. You can keep like basically put it there, like you can connect it. What will happen then is that it will also copy that piece of geometry as well.
Yeah.
So that I like to prevent that by just putting it on another face. Like as long as you
That's
put it on a corner, like on a face that is overlapping with another face, the guide will show up for the other objects that you're trying to make.
okay. That makes a lot of sense. That's I did that with this one to get the right spacing. Um, and that was helpful, but you know, it's one thing. If you had to do it 10 times to delete that, that's when it gets a little pain. But I
Mhm.
like this whole, I like these nuggets, man. You got it. We'll just, you know what? Let's change it from Open Studio to Johan.
Close to.
Closed studio with Johan's nuggets. What? Okay, wait. Here's one for you. Oh, wait, no, I forgot it. I was like, one of the things that people always kind of forget too is that you can scale and set up your room. So that's something
Mhm.
that, like, whenever I start a meeting, I always like, right, you kind of get these default the green boards here. And
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you can do easily is just scale these positions here. And it seems like when I've had it in the past and I didn't have this platform here, everything would start scaling really kind of crazy because it's trying to work out the relationships. But what I like
yeah.
now is with the platform, you can scale it and it doesn't have a huge change. But I think this is kind of like like whenever I get set up, a lot of people start modeling and they don't realize
Mhm.
like what the scale is over here or something like that. So um, yeah, I don't know if
It's
you probably
yeah, a little tip that I always use is like it's really easy to create a tree. You just drop a tree in the middle in that space or a person to get a bit of a good sense of scale. Also, the map tool actually is very helpful in if you have like a physical location where the object has to be. Just putting on the map helps to make that a bit easier to see the scale of things.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe we could show that. We do have a question. How does images impact impact our workflow? Like, is it
Mhm.
hard to include a bunch of references and stuff, or is there any tips that you would mention there?
I think it might be good for you to maybe quickly show that on the like how you can just drop an image on the cloud and how to
Yeah,
connect that because it's very straightforward.
yeah, for sure. Let me double check. It was a, oh yeah. Okay. So I'll do a little jumping around and maybe let my headset do a
Actually, I
restart.
can also do that because I'm in the session, David. Let me just
Oh,
maybe we'll just start sharing my screen and talk a bit
yeah,
about that.
yeah, for sure.
So
Um,
you don't need to mess up any of your, your
I just
stream
see this.
settings.
I see this. This pink. I don't know. I think it shows up on the stream. Oh no, I have it to desktop.
No, you don't see it. I can say
Oh,
it's fine.
oh no. Wait. Now you can see it. Right. You see that little line?
I'm not seeing it, but
Oh no. Okay.
oh
Well,
yes, oh that line. Oh, no one noticed that one.
yeah. I know.
Yes.
Yeah, for
Okay, let
sure.
me just close this stuff. Just a lot of stuff open. So I'm going to just put my screen on.
And then. Bum, bum. Okay.
So if you go to cloud.arkio.is, I don't know if you can put my screen to the front, David.
I think it is in the front.
Is it?
Oh, I don't. Let me see. I'm seeing the.
Yes.
Let's see. What's the live stream looking like? Yeah, you're live.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So if you're in cloud.arkio.is, you're seeing the environment where you can make your own cloud group. This can be seen as currently a temporary way like a way to get files from a PC or iOS or any device or anything else that can have an internet browser to Arkio on other mobile devices. And this cloud group environment allows you to create a group. And in this case, I'll just call it test. And I can create that like test group. This will get an invite code. This invite code I can copy paste and place on a PC or other device and directly fill it in. Or I can go to my Quest and fill in this code. And whatever I will now upload, like images or the 3D models that, let me just check if I have anything. Exports photos from Arkio. No, I don't. I'll just well, probably have something somewhere. I think on my desktop I probably have screenshots. Yes, so I have like an image that I just uploaded. This image can now be removed again as well, but I can also add other things in here. So if I have, for example, a 3D model, so let's have some Arkio models, imports. I'm just going to put a smaller model, like a Cybertruck. So like that file, all these files will be on the Arkio cloud, and the invite codes, I can make as many invite codes as I need. These will be valid for 15 minutes. And that gives me the time to put that in on the headset. And you can actually use that, David, on your headset because you're streaming like a C7 JSJR, C7JSJR should give you a Cybertruck and an image.
All right, Cybertruck. All right,
and then I will just put your stream back to the
all right, cool.
to your screen.
Nice. So when you get a cloud import, right? I'll leave group, and basically in the create function here, if you let's just start from beginning. Should pull the if you pull this out, and then start all the way from beginning. So yeah. So if you have the Arkio tool palette up, and if you go to create, and then if you're in like this your first time opening Arkio, you'll probably see something like this. If you hit that little cloud icon, you type in the cloud password and hit join group. And then this starts to queue the downloads to your headset. So you can actually go back to local because it's imported locally to your headset now, and go to imports, and you'll see that there's now Cybertruck, and you'll see a little example. It was in meters, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, and then there's the difference between here of lock at origin and place as object. Lock at origin is kind of like what you would want to do if you have no plans to position the model outside of where it was originally exported from. So for us with the little Cybertruck, we're just going to post it wherever. So we don't really care about it being at origin of the scene. And now with this, we can get updates from, well, we can just now have a little 3D model. Let's go for a ride, Johan. Beep,
yes.
beep.
Beep, beep. It's
Beep,
pretty
beep.
big, this thing, eh? Like it's like a.
It's blocky.
Yeah, it's very blocky.
Let's make it bigger. There we go. Now it kind of looks like a clown car. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
or we just make it completely flat. I always like that. Like it just,
and then
just make a 3D model into an image.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a very nice one. Like there was this one guy who did the whole, like he made a space. Oh no, I'm making more trucks.
More trucks.
But yeah, he like put he did exactly what you're saying, like made a little artboard here, and now you can't see it. Haha. But it's like, look at this art here.
Yeah, it's more nice art now.
Yeah. we're doing art
And
things.
anytime I can 3D it again by just stretching
Oh
it
yeah.
out.
Do you think there's like, I almost feel like this is a great way, like I feel like there's got to be an approach for this, like if this was a architectural drawing. Maybe I have one. Hold on.
I
What's this
mean,
image? Oh,
I have an architectural drawing here actually. Let me
uh,
just load one. I think it's
yeah.
so when you place an image, it's important that maybe you can also show that on the UI,
Mhm.
like with that image that you just got. You get like a width parameter, and that's important to know that if you want your drawing not to be like massive, because the default width is 200 meters wide, you can fill in a different dimension there. Like I often just like delete the 2 zeros, and then you have like 2 feet or 2 meters.
Mhm.
You have like a small image, and you just hit enter. And if you then place it in as an object in the scene, you get like almost like a painting or like a 3D or a 2D reference that you can put anywhere. And
Mhm.
if you want to stretch images, you can just pick them at the corner and stretch them diagonally. That will keep the
Oh yeah.
proportion intact.
Yeah, let's actually show that for a second. So this was, I remember this was something Hilmar like messaged me a while back and was like, did you see that we finally have like, or it was like, we finally implemented like uniform scaling. And I was like, ah,
Mhm.
and it took me forever to realize how it worked because it's, you know, again, like you're just so
Hidden.
used to holding shift, right?
Yes.
And but in here you can kind of see when you're scaling something, if you grab, you know, a side here, edit it like that, it will change like just one surface. But if you grab the corner and then if you start, you see this line is indicating that it's on the same like
Mhm.
axis as if it was like from the diagonal. So this means everything is uniform. And once you go off of it, you can see it starts scaling. So this is, I I do wish there's times where I like lose it and I'm like, wait, where'd it go? So I kind
Mhm.
of like move around a bit, but this is, if you like kind of go back, you'll get the same. We've got it right there. There it is. Now I can't find it. Oh well. So yeah, this. But I was almost like, we created like some visualizations one time where the tracker was these like, you know, these AR. It was just like a site plan like this, and then
Mhm.
what we did in like what we did in the AR app was like we just created simple like animations that were done in Unity, and they just kind of came off of the drawing, and you know, it's kind of like that 2.5D type of thing, but it was, I don't know, I actually I don't know how effective it was, but I think when you showed the art pieces like that, I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if like, you know, I don't know
3D
if,
art paintings are always nice, right? Like
yeah,
there are like
exactly.
examples of like people doing like with little nails or like pieces of wood or like all sorts of 3D effects, and it's still painting. Like it's like really it's meant to be like viewed as a surface, but
Yeah.
that does add this extra dimension to it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's also just so like, you know, designers love recognizing their plans and stuff. Like they just they when they see this it makes sense, but then the 3D parts like that, oh. But so yeah, I think this touches on some of the imports with images and
With
stuff. And
images, yeah.
yeah, and I think one thing to mention too is that when you do like when you update something, if you update the same object, whether it's in the group or local, you'll get a little drop down here that will tell you the time when it was last updated. So
Mm.
that's useful. I mean, it's a little challenging to, you know, remember which one is which when you're looking just at time and date, as we all know. But I do think like when you look at examples, let me try to pull up another example project that I did. Boop-a-doo. Now I don't know. They're all. Yeah, here. You can see a couple of different examples happening when you start pushing stuff and you get different time stamps and stuff like that. So that's kind of
Mhm.
helpful just to get going and off the track. So one workflow I really like doing with the cloud imports, like when I start sketching in Arkio, is I actually just use my phone to directly upload to the cloud. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's just simple, like whatever I'm on, you know, whatever I can do without having to think twice. So
It's actually great for like LiDAR scans and images from your phone. Like
yeah.
because it's one extra step to not have to do like first load it to your PC and then load it to your Quests.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Trying to see if I can pull up. Oh, one thing you mentioned was actually the map tool. And I thought maybe we should. I feel like it's not going like these are really great to kind of go through and look at all the assets because I feel like there's already so much to talk about and create. But also with create, it's like how do you set up your scene properly? Like we talked about scaling the scene and using a map and stuff like that. So I feel like maybe next time
Yeah, like a team for a nice focus point indeed, like just like general good practices of like starting a project, like what you could do to like. There's actually a lot of fun games you can do even with that map feature by itself. Like there's like you can load cities that are like Paris and stuff. They are very detailed, and you can do all sorts of fun hide and seek and like creative challenges and things.
Have you played hide and seek or anything like that with teams here?
No, not yet, but maybe the people that are invited next time, or at least coming in next time, can be part of it. Yes.
That's one thing I just feel like I'm not sure how to like invite more people to this. So maybe because I feel like the audio versus like random people just flying in here is going to.
Oh yeah, it's something we'll check also, like see what how we can do that in the coming sessions to make that still organized.
Yeah, for sure. But no, this has been great, and I mean, so one thing that let's see, what time is it? We can kind of talk about a little bit. We are okay. We got 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk. Yeah, I don't want to eat up the rest of your day, but the challenge. So tomorrow we're going to be announcing our first challenge of the year. And this one is that here to there concept. And I think this is, I don't know, like I always kind of struggle when we first start modeling this idea out, because realistically, like, as any designer, you kind of want to influence the size and the design of space or like what's happening. But like realistically, all people are going like for this challenge, people are just, oh, I put an anchor down somehow. Meetings, no, settings, erase.
There's no need to worry about the anchor. Like you're like.
No, but I just can't teleport past this now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I need to get rid of it. Hold on. Wait, what were you saying? Sorry.
So you can also like when you're anchored, you can just unlock yourself, and that just gives you the least of freedom until the next time you teleport somewhere. But you can also erase them. Another topic to discuss in more depth: mixed reality anchoring.
Yeah, I just there's some times where it happens randomly, and I'm just trying to teleport around. But yeah, so with these with the here to there, it did it again.
So it's actually when you touch with your fingers the UI. I don't know if you maybe accidentally did that.
Wait, what UI though?
So the UI on the wristband.
Oh, but I don't even have the lock feature on my wristband.
Interesting.
Because I'm in desktop mode.
Yes, that I don't like. I'll have to look into that later. Yes.
But if I do touch, let's see. If I touch my fingers together, let's see. How did that?
No, basically every button that you have, like the menu, can be interacted with using the index finger next to your controller. So if you touch like the paint tool or like the create tool or the Arkio wristband with the home panel or the lock, it will actually activate.
Oh, I found. Hey, check this out. I don't. Can you see my anchors?
Let me check. I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. You're looking at the stream. Yeah, right there. You see it?
Yeah.
That's the little anchor. And so whenever if I clear, I guess this is just now a debug session, but so if I clear here and if I teleport onto this, it creates, I think it's, oh, okay, so never mind, it's not doing it now, but I noticed like when I guess when it was just, it seemed to be creating and then floating off, like it was creating the anchor and then like skidded down the side. It was cute. It kind of looked like a raindrop.
Secret anchor.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. We did it again. Huh. Okay. Well, we have it recorded, so.
Yeah.
But I think it's when I double tap a whatever. But yeah. So I mean, realistically, what the design competition is going to be, the here to there one, I think it's going to be really sweet as like a basic design task. Like you're basically asking someone to, make a pathway that goes, from here to there. And this is like this very simple version of it because we're only looking at like a block to a block, and there will be a very simple site model. But I'm also thinking like, oh, what if people start using boundaryless mode, or like, ooh, look at that. Yes. Wow. Hey, have you ever heard of Grasshopper?
Yeah, there's a lot of Grasshopper, but it's like it's so hard to use.
I know. So many wires.
There are things. Like I always like when you're making this geometry, how it's still kind of parametric. It's like a elephant nose. Like you can just make it any shape,
Yeah.
or by just moving the sub objects. So this would be an interesting way to get from A to B.
Yeah, like you can create only one array and then you have to sculpt it,
Yeah.
or
Well, it's not really one array anymore. Like
Yeah.
you're cheating a bit, but it's still nice to kind of point it to where it needs to be.
Yeah. No,
It still looks like one array.
Oh, geez. So wait, are you doing the? Okay, so you're doing the surface.
I'm editing the point and I'm distorting the point in order for all the child objects that are on the surface to move them along as well.
Got it. So it's just you want to do the front-facing points, not the back-facing points.
Yeah, because that one drives the surface that hosts the top objects as well.
Yeah, that's. I like this. Yeah. So how's this even? Can you even get a?
How does it look? I mean, we could make it hollow. We could have made it hollow, and then it would have been an interesting passage.
Oh yeah, no, that would have been really sweet. Yeah, definitely a hollow one. That would have been a nice little carving, like. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, no, that's a good one. But I think that's where like people tend to like to just have like a simple way to make a pathway and make some spaces within that. So, yeah, that's sweet. All right. I think
it's not only about the pathway itself, right? There was like examples of students that really made it into an architectural journey, and
yeah, exactly. So that's like the one thing that I've been kind of trying to think about a little bit is like what type of language appeals to not just architects in this. So that's why I'm like, oh, maybe I need to include a little bit more, like make it less about the, like, I don't know, it's all there's a lot of the stuff just had that pretentious architecture like language to it that I needed to like pull out, but yeah, it was, I agree. Like, I think there's like some nice little things that happen within these pathways that help kind of give a sense of space more than just a walking from from one spot to another. Let's see. I think I have one of the pathways still. I hope Harry's watching me just flick around in a bunch of. Let's see. I think this is one of my students from. I think this was Bailey's model. Oh, I don't know if your update available. Click to replace. All right, let's see. Oh, and then I have to share.
I think you are sharing it already. Let me just check.
Okay.
Because it's supposed to be dark.
Yeah, I guess so. Let me say, I'll turn this on.
Night is part of the team.
Yeah.
How far does that like the challenge go? Like, do they get like a team, like the sites for the grass?
Let's see. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit more to the side. All right, let's see. Yeah, we'll give Bailey a little highlight in here. which, you know, this might have been Connor. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, so this is their first modeling task in Arkio, to be honest. Like they're putting stuff together and finding out like what stuff they can build, right? So this year I don't have them do, because it's their first time modeling stuff. I don't have. Oh no. There we go. I don't have them. Yeah, I don't have them modeling together. They model all of this by themselves, but as you can kind of see, like they start to kind of create these pathways here, and the thing that they're kind of forced to do in these spaces is to work in different scales. So they have to, and they also have to move up and down and left to right. So like they have to move. You know, there's different ways for them to move, and they also have to like kind of create interior and exterior spaces. So, and these were like, you know, these were some of the sites that they all got where like, and this will be a little bit different than what we'll hand out, but they, you know, they all had a similar pathway that worked along one site, and the idea was to combine them afterwards to show all the differences, but, you know, it just becomes a static model at that point, which is fine. But yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's something that we support, like exporting. You can bring it back in even, and then it does lose its editability. But like for presentations, that's often what's okay. Like you don't need to have a full interactable model anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually a lot of times like people, when we're in presentation mode and all of a sudden like edit mode happens and things start breaking and flicking around, that's like, you know, it's like a kind of part of the first starts of the review is telling people how to not do anything, or like how to troubleshoot.
Yeah, or just tell them to disable their license so they cannot do anything.
Yeah, and just type it in again. But
Yeah.
the section tool, I have to say, has been like has been a huge hit always with like students, because they're just able to, you know,
Yeah.
I think when they see their models in this way, they're able to kind of see this space, and that helps them kind of connect what the section does, which is that, you know, elevational relationship.
Yeah. Like it's almost like there's some secret trap door here or something. Like I feel
Maybe.
like something happened. There's something hide it there. Like,
yeah, they do make a lot of trap doors, I have to say.
Yeah.
So the games are fun.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it'll be a good challenge. So if anyone's still listening on this live stream, we will be announcing that tomorrow. But this is kind of a little sneak peek info of some of the first challenge we'll announce tomorrow. So little happiness for people hanging in there.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's good time to kind of, I hear my computer humming, so I'm gonna just go straight to desktop view only, and then just kind of wrap up the stream. So thanks so much, Johan. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us. So talk to you later, man. Or we'll see you on the stream if you're still there.
Yeah.
I'll see you. All right. Let's see. We'll go back to cast flat. And let's see. And then I guess I'll just boot up Arkio to be running regularly. Desktop mode. But yeah, so that touches on our first VR session here, people. So I think, I don't know, I'd like to hear if, you know, people hanging out in the chat. It seems like we got a couple active viewers still. You know, what was helpful? What made sense? You know, is there anything that you want to see for next time? You know, did you want to join and you just were, you know, wish it was at a different part of the day? We'll be hanging out for the next 20 minutes. And I think I hear Johan still clicking around in here. So feel free to throw any questions out. I'm all tangled up here, man. Oh, God. All right. The one thing I don't know how I'll end up doing is like checking the comments on a live stream in VR.
Yeah, I was thinking about because basically the Quest Pro is great for that because you have a bit more flexibility to look past your view.
Yeah, right. And it's like, and it's very easy just to, it's very like I think that had like I almost wish it was like the Meta Quest. No, sorry, not the Meta Quest. The HoloLens 2 with the flip up display. You know, that one was really nice. But yeah, I wonder if there's ever going to be like an effort to include, I guess, to include like a like any sort of like comment feed and stuff like that into Meta's like devices and stuff.
There's you can have and that might also be something interesting like, for us to research, but for sure for everyone that you can have multiple apps running at the same time. You can have an Oculus like Meta browser open. It will briefly just pause the app that you are immersive in, and you can just you can view your desktop, and there's all sorts of stuff we can do there.
Yeah, I was looking at like how people stream things in with comments and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, there's some tools that we can use, but yeah, like I'm like, oh god, like I think like when I thought about the comments rolling in, I was like, oh god, it's already hard enough to read in VR. Like, can you imagine trying to like?
I think you need a little assistant here to help people like me, like the other team members. Also, like I think it will help make these sessions a bit streamlined. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to try to like. I'm trying. Oh, hey, Claudia. Yeah, next time we'll get you all figured out.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's try also before we do the session to check all the mics and everything to
well,
make
that's
sure
that was. I think I didn't realize that you couldn't add an additional audio piece from StreamYard, but yeah, you're right. And that's also something we should look into with that microphone issue. That was something I don't know if it's pertaining to Claudia's device or something like that, but I've had that happen on my own for multiple
we should
things.
reach out, Claudia. We will be. We're going to look into what happened there.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, no, I am very excited for where we're taking this. For 2024, what we have coming up. I think we have some actual good events coming forward. I think we have so much work that we see from people that are making stuff with Arkio and pushing the limits of it. And I think, being able to use 2024 to highlight and promote and just challenge what people are making I think it's going to be energetic in that way,
Yeah.
I think also running a live stream will help me understand to appreciate silence, but
yes.
I don't know. But let's see.
Well, I think it's also like if there's no questions specifically, we can also wrap it up a bit earlier.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think like just throwing it out there again, like if there's any questions for us on this or the upcoming sessions, just feel free to let us know in the chat.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, and in the YouTube video that will be posted as well to our channel. And that also has our Discord server where you can find out more information, what we do regularly, and follow all the links and stuff. And if you're curious on starting getting up and running with Arkio, you can download it for free today. You can visit that on Oculus stores or download it for your PC. Just in the description below, there's the Arkio. There's that download place. I'll post it in the chat just in case. And you guys can all get started up and running using Arkio. So thanks everyone for visiting. This was really fun. If you have any questions, feel free to throw it in the chat there. I'll hang out here for a couple more minutes, but if not, it was great. Appreciate you hanging around for the first time. This was fun. So we'll see you for next week.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks, Johan. Appreciate it. Talk soon.
Bye.